with Kyle Evans. Grow with Kyle Evans.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, guys, good morning to you. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the G.R.O.W Show. Coach Kyle Evans coming to you, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, for your daily checkup from the neck up. Boy, do we have something to talk about today. Man, I had this nice, built out 3-4 show arc, and may start that tomorrow, but I put this hat on today, and this hat says I'm not for everybody, and I made a post about it in the text that I've already gotten, and some of the comments and the messages. I figured, this seems like a more important message that people need to hear today, so I'm going to dive into that. Guys, here's the truth. Authenticity in business and leadership, authenticity in sales, authenticity in your personal life breeds connection. It does. And when you're being authentic and you're not wearing a mask and you're not being something you're not, you walk around a little happier. You walk around with a little more energy. You walk around in alignment with who you are. So today, guys, I want to put this on your pipe, man. I want to put this in your heart. You are not meant for everybody, but you're definitely meant for somebody. You are not everyone's cup of tea, but you're someone's bowl of gumbo. Not everyone's going to get you. That's kind of the point. I need you to be gumbo, not tea. I need you to be a little spicy, little mix of things. Not for the faint of heart, but if you know about it, you know about it. There ain't nothing better on a cold evening than a delicious deep brown roux gumbo coming to you. So many people spend their whole life trying to be liked when they were built to be known. They were built to be flavorful. They were built to be tasty. They were built to be their own brand, their own kind of smoke, their own cayenne pepper. Today, we're going to talk about adding some flavor, the kind that makes you memorable in life, the kind that makes you memorable in leadership, the kind that makes you memorable in business. How about this one? The kind that makes you front door famous, makes you memorable for the people that actually matter. So grab a spoon, because we're going to be stirring the pot today, ladies and gentlemen. This is the trap that a lot of us fall into, the trap of being bland. I want to be real if I can. Don't worry, I'm going to anyway. Most people play small to stay safe. They play small to stay safe. They like safety because it's closer to homeostasis. Like that's what we're seeking at a deep psychological and physiological level is safety. So they water down their words. They mute their energy. Maybe they don't want to be too much. And they package themselves into something marketable. But the truth is, marketable is usually forgettable. I like to say it simply as normal doesn't get noticed. I want you to think about it, like really think about it. In sales, love you mean it, but how many posts for real estate agents out there, coaches, brands, all sound the same? Hardworking, trustworthy, passionate. Cool. So is everybody. The world doesn't need another echo. We got plenty of them. What we need is a voice with a pulse. Guys, you don't attract true loyalty by blending in. What you do attract, though, is indifference. Like, here's the painful part. Sometimes we start watering down our flavor the first time we get rejected. The first failure, the first bad comment, the first terrible feedback, the first unfollow, the first no. But guys, we weren't meant to please all the crowds. We were meant to connect deeply. Deep connection never comes from surface level pretending. It just doesn't. So maybe if you've been feeling unseen, uninspired, burnout, unheard, it might not because you're doing too little. It might be because you're playing it too safe. You're trying to fit into too many things. I need you to unlock the power of flavor. Now, to my listeners up north, I love you, but I know this is going to be a tough one when we're talking about flavor, but that's okay. At least we're talking about being people and not food. Guys, when you add spice to a dish, you're not changing the dish, you're enhancing what's already there. When you add spice to a dish, you're not changing the dish. It's still meat. You're just enhancing what's already there. It's the same with you. Maybe you're not broken. Maybe you're not broken. Maybe you're just underseasoned because you're making the wrong choices, because you're trying to fit every palate. Your flavor comes from your story. The wins, the wounds, the lessons, the scars, that's what gives you depth. Purpose doesn't come from trying to be different. It comes from daring to be true, daring to be you. I think truly it's not that people fear failure. I think more often than not, they fear disapproval. That's the actual fear underneath the failure. It's the disapproval. If there was no disapproval, people would go out and fail all the time and not care. But the moment we let go of needing everyone's approval, you start to step into momentum. You start to step into what you're supposed to be. You start to step into one of my favorite lines is being a toddler in a superhero cape. Because when you show up fully yourself, people can finally find you. Your people can finally find you. And that's the point. Your flavor is actually your filter. Come on now, I'm excited this morning. Your flavor is actually your filter. It attracts who's for you and quietly repels who's not. So the question becomes, where in your life, where in your business, have you been editing your truth? Where have you been diluting the real version of you in an effort to be palatable for everyone? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet, every time you do that, you rob the world of what you can actually bring to the table, what you were meant to bring to the table. I need you to find your flavor. Guys, when I'm thinking about business here, I'm saying, like, who's your ideal client? What's your voice? What's your actual product? Let's stir this thing a little deeper, because flavor without focus is chaos. Let's talk about your ideal client. Let's talk about your voice. Let's talk about your product here. Number one question: who are you cooking for? Not cooking, who you cooking for. You can't serve everyone. That's not confidence. That's confusion. Your ideal client isn't everyone who can afford you. It's the person who needs you the most and connects with how you show up, connects with what you believe in, connects with your ideology. In real estate, that might be the family chasing the next chapter, not just square footage. In coaching, that might be the high achiever who's lost their spark. I want you to ask yourself these three questions. Who do I understand deeply? Who do I understand deeply? Question number two, who do I get fired up to help? Who do I get fired up to help? Whose problems, number three, whose problems do I solve naturally? Whose problems do I solve naturally. So who do I understand deeply? Who do I get fired up to help? Whose problems do I solve naturally? Because when you know who you're cooking for, you stop chasing approval and you start serving up steaming hot dishes of purpose. So when we know who we're cooking for, I need you to understand what's your voice. Your voice is your seasoning blend, the tone, the rhythm, the honesty that people remember. Are you the teacher? The educator? Maybe you're the motivator. Maybe you're the challenger. Maybe you're the storyteller. Every word you speak, every post, everything you write, it should sound like you walked into the room. I tell people all the time, I want your content to smell like your kitchen. If it doesn't carry your tone, if it doesn't carry your values, if it doesn't carry your rhythm, it's just noise. Consistency of your voice is what builds trust. Consistency. When you mix consistency and authenticity, game on. That's when the trust really comes, guys. And trust is the currency that's going to close the deals. It's going to build the referrals. It's going to build your business with people who know, like, and actually trust you. So we've got our voice down. We know who we're cooking for. What's the product you actually sell? Spoiler alert to my real estate agents out there. It ain't the house. It ain't the house. It ain't the coaching call. It ain't the seminar. It's not even the service. At the deep, deep level of what you really sell is the feeling. It's the feeling. People buy confidence. People buy clarity. People definitely buy clarity. People buy connection. People buy relief. People buy belief. When someone hires you, they're not hiring a product. They're buying a version of themselves they believe that you can help them unlock. That's the real sell. So what I want you to ask yourself is, what transformation do you deliver? What transformation do you deliver? How do people feel after working with you? How do people feel after working with you? What problem do you make disappear? Because when you can define those three things, you stop selling and you start serving. You start serving. So if we understand these ideas, the next question is, who do you need to help right now? Because I truly believe this. Like, I truly believe this. There is always a group of people out there waiting for your exact experience, for your exact flavor, for what you yourself bring to the table. The problem is most of us hide behind content that looks polished instead of powerful. Ugh. We put on a mask. We try to pretend and act like we're supposed to be this person. Man, when I help agents start working on their content, they start filming and they'll do a video and they'll be like, oh, I don't like it. I'm saying, why don't you like it? They said, it doesn't sound like me. I said, stop then. Stop making it not sound like you. Stop pretending to be some version of you that you think people want. Just be you. Just be you. If you knew who needed you, you'd post differently. You'd speak differently. You'd lead differently. You'd stop worrying about being too spicy and you'd start serving people craving cayenne. You can't help everyone, but you can help the people that are meant for you. Start being you. Guys, leadership. My goodness, let's talk about that. Authenticity doesn't just attract clients, it also transforms your business's culture. When you show up real, you give everyone around you permission to do the same. I like to say we're all a little crazy here. Teams don't need perfect leaders. I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Ask my bride. But what teams do need is predictable ones. The kind that are consistent, the kind that are honest, the kind with strong eyes and soft hearts. I got news for you. It's the same at home. Your kids don't need you to be impressive. They need you to be present. Please, for the love of God, hear me on this. Your kids, your family, they don't need you to be impressive. They need you to be present. Please do not miss that before it's too late. Your spouse doesn't need the social media highlight reel. They need your heartbeat. Authenticity will bridge gaps that no skill set could ever overcome. None. Is skills important? Absolutely. But authenticity reigns the victor. I need you to ask yourself, who around me needs the real me to show up again? Who's waiting for me to stop performing and start being? I need you to stay flavorful. Your type of flavor. You weren't made to blend in. You were made to flavor the room that you walk into. So stop watering yourself down to fit every palate. I need you to be real. I need you to be rich. I need you to be a little spicy. And I need you to be seasoned with purpose. Because the right people, they won't just like your flavor, ladies and gentlemen. They'll come back for seconds. If you take one thing from this episode, if you take one thing from our quick daily checkup from the neck up, let it be this. You don't have to convince everyone. You just have to connect with your people. Keep cooking with confidence. Keep serving from authenticity. Stay authentic, stay flavorful, stay growing. And remember, you don't attract true loyalty by blending in. You just attract indifference. Go serve it up today. And remember, I'm not for everyone. Neither are you. And that's a good thing.
Grow with Kyle Evans.